In this presentation, I will be introducing you all to suspense and foreshadowing. I will first bring up suspense and answer a series of questions to help you understand the topic. The same thing will be applied for foreshadowing, and finally the tips and tricks that will also be mentioned throughout this presentation. Now let's start. What is suspense? Suspense is a feeling that makes you feel tension, fear, excitement, and curiosity. What does suspense do? It makes you start feeling rather uncomfortable things like fear of the unknown, for example. It keeps you captivated and makes you want to continue watching or reading to be able to find out what will happen in the future. Some people go so far as to make their own theories about what could happen depending on how the suspense is used. It could even be used to foreshadow what will happen in the future. How to locate suspense? Suspense isn't something that you can find with your eyes, it's something that is felt. We all live in suspense from day to day, from hour to hour. In other words, we are the hero of our own story, by Mary McCarthy. What this person is trying to say is that we all live in suspense. Every day we wake up in the morning and wonder what will happen in class today. We are all now currently thinking about what we will do in the future. We're all the main characters that are trying to find their way to their happy ending of the story. Another example is when we learned about Spider-Man No Way Home. After Marvel had released the trailer, people started coming up with different ideas of what could happen in the movie. Some people even said that there would be all three Spider-Mans in the movie, including Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. This built up tension all across the world that made people really excited to watch the movie when it came out. What are the different types of suspense? There are no different types, but there are different ways to use suspense. It can be used in an intense scene. For example, in the movie Jurassic Park, when two kids are stuck in the kitchen with two raptors, there is suspense throughout the whole scene, keeping us on our toes as we watch the two kids try and leave the kitchen alive. We can also use music. In the movie Friday the 13th, we could often hear the music Kill, Kill, Kill in the background, creating suspense as we all knew that it meant Jason would come and make his next move. Colors can also help in many ways, like the color red or black, for example. These are often used in horror movies. They mostly all take place during the night in dark alleys. Sometimes there would even be a faint red glow to add to the already very eerie atmosphere. Also, when you tell someone to close their eyes to be able to surprise them, it makes the victim curious about what is going to happen, making them wonder and imagine scenarios. Now on to foreshadowing. What is foreshadowing? Foreshadowing is giving out a hint of what's to come and giving away the future or just a little part of it. What does it do? Again, it hints what will happen in the future. It allows readers or viewers to start their own investigations or theories, and builds attention, making people more captivated by the story. If he married, my grave is like to my wedding bed, said by Juliet, line 135, in Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. This line foreshadows that she would die in love with Romeo. How to locate it? Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Private Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious because they just didn't hold to such nonsense, by J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter. This paragraph gives us a little hint that even though the Dursleys don't like or want to have to do with anything out of the ordinary, they are in fact involved in it. In their case, it's magic. Foreshadowing is not always easy to find. Rereading or watching the movies again does help to find something that could hint in the future. What are the different types of foreshadowing? The first one is Chekhov's gun. It's something that is just thrown in the wide open. For example, a boy tells his mother that he's going to a friend's house. The mother warns him to be careful on the road because of the rain outside. The boy promises to be careful, but later on is in a car accident and gets severely injured. Prophecies pretty much explain itself. It is a prophecy that later on comes true. Flashback or flash forward can give out a hint or straight out show what will happen in the future, creating suspense and making people wonder what will lead to that scene. Symbolic is usually used with the weather, like a storm is coming and people can just feel it in the air that something is wrong or that something is about to happen. The red herring is the most common out of all of them. It is used to distract the reader from the truth. Let's say this man is baking a pie and lets it cool off and puts it near the window. He leaves to go do something else in the meantime. And when he comes back, he finds the pie on the ground half eaten and blames his dog. But later on finds out that the birds had eaten his pie and made it fall on the ground. The dog was the distraction, preventing people from learning that the birds were the real culprit. Now for the tip and tricks. To find either of them, just use the other. When one appears, the other is not far away. Suspense and foreshadowing come together very well. If there is one missing, the story would not be a whole. It would be missing a lot of things that would make the scene or story empty. Second, to find suspense, you just need to watch or read until you start to feel tension, scared, excitement, uneasiness, or curious. That means you found it. Third, foreshadowing is something really hard to find at times. Paying close attention to what you are reading or watching can help, but also rereading or watching it again can also help since you already know the full story. You could easily find something that you had missed beforehand. Fourth, use both to keep your readers entertained. If not, then the people will lose interest and go find something else to read or watch. And finally, slowly building up tension to make the readers more and more excited or scared. Then, making a big twist of events and letting it all explode on their face for an amazing reaction. Thank you all for listening. Hope this helped you understand more about suspense and foreshadowing.